And yes, when I was working under Milton Friedman, I was the only American in the Chicago Boys group selling this crap to these nations, selling these, quote, infrastructure projects. They're gallows for the planet. And in fact, I first met John when he was selling one of these radioactive monsters in New Hampshire. And I always wondered what, and I was fighting on the other side. He beat the shit out of me, by the way. In New Hampshire, and they built that plant, bankrupted the state of New Hampshire, bankrupted the utility company, but his company's made how many billions did your companies make off that scam? And but see, Americans wised up, so then they just took the destruction somewhere else, so we can import the happy. Okay, it's just like when people talk about clean nuclear power, those are people who've never been to the uranium mines on the indigenous lands in New Mexico. They've never been to Niger, so we just export the pain, the suffering, the torture, the killings, and so we can have our nice, clean life. Now,
I want to say that Greg, although you say I won, and we were on the witness stand representing the opposite ends of the spectrum. I was defending a big nuclear power plant in New Hampshire. You were opposed to it. You were one of the people that turned me around, though. I quit that job because I had to go to the president of Public Service Company of New Hampshire and say, you don't want to put me on the stand anymore because I don't believe what I'm saying anymore. I did believe it, but now that I've heard Greg and I've done some more research, that helped turn me around and Nomi, your example of leaving Goldman Sachs and writing about this has had a huge influence on my life also. And of course, Lynn, you've had a huge influence on my life. And that leads me to say that every one of you out there has a huge influence on a lot of people's lives, more than you realize. And when we take a stand in any direction, as Lynn's book about leading a committed life, her new book goes into detail. When we take a stand, we have a huge impact. So I just want to reiterate that I think we should all feel very, very blessed that we're alive right now, because we're alive at a moment of transition, of transformation. Every major culture says that we've entered a time of for the potential for transformation, but we the people have to make it happen. And all of us here today have a mission to help transform this death economy to a life economy, to make the world a place that future generations will thank us for and will want to inherit.